Hey, sports entertainment marketing. Here is the plan for the next couple weeks. We're going to start a project where you're going to be looking at a subset of sports and the community impact that the community impact that that sport has. So, you can see like the whole layout for this project here, what you're supposed to do during async times and synchronous times. And there is a doc to kind of talk you through the project. Looks like this. So this says you will choose from, but really, like, I'm going to assign it to you. One of the following categories of sports. So young, amateur, or recreational is like school sports, like if you're on the soccer team, swim team, whatever. Intramural is like, it could be like college sports, but not like affiliated with the university, or like an office baseball team, like any kind of like just for fun kind of sport that adults can do. Oh, I have high school as a separate one. So yeah, young, amateur, or recreational is like elementary school sports. Then high school is like high school sports, obviously, more like, you know, the football teams and things like that. College, university is like, obviously college, university sports, and you can go with like the Big Ten conference kind of games, or you could go with more, you know, like a Division IV kind of school, whatever you want to do. Extreme would be like people who do like the X Games or like super intense rock climbing, things like that. Paralympics is the Olympics, but for people who are paralyzed, who maybe have an injury or who have some kind of condition that makes them so that they, you know, are not able to use all of their limbs. And Special Olympics is for folks who are disabled in other ways. It could be for people who have Down syndrome or people who are, you know, quadriplegic, probably not quadriplegic, but paraplegic. Look into it. There's a bunch of different things to look at there. Youth travel leagues is kind of like young, amateur, recreational, but more like a little bit more serious. Like there's traveling hockey leagues in Williamston and things like that you could talk about. Women's sports as its own kind of thing. And then professional is, you know, of course, we know a lot about professional sports. So the big idea here is that there's 5 big things that I'm looking for in each slide. So you get 5 points if you have all of these things on each slide. And there's 12 slides total, so for a total of 60 points from me. And those things are appealing layout, of course, so at least 1 image per slide. Don't use Arial font, pick a different one. Consider using a Google Slides template, but definitely, you know, think about your layout, make it look nice. Appropriate text sizes and colors. So you want to have proper spelling, capitalization, and punctuation. So this is the thing I saw a lot on the last couple projects, is that make sure that you're capitalizing brand names. Make sure you're capitalizing product names. So like Nike would be capitalized, Lucky Charms would be capitalized, team names like the Williamston Hornets, both Williamston and Hornets is going to be capitalized, and people's names first and last, you guys, should definitely be capitalized. Slide headings should be like any kind of title. Most of those words should be capitalized, all the important ones. And another thing I didn't say in here, but which is important, is that you are going to be given, this is like the template of the slideshow. So this is like what I've given you guys before. But you need to replace all of the stuff that I write in here. Like definitely don't leave define and describe your category. You definitely want to give it its own title. So instead of define and describe your category, you'd be like intramural sports or something like that. And then instead of example of a team, you'd be like, you know, like the Brody Hall, like football team or something like that. And then you wouldn't write example of an athlete, you would write like a person's name, right? And have their picture and stuff like that. So always replace the things that I put in there and use actual titles and things that you would use in those slides. Yeah, interesting and relevant information in a way that we can read. So no paragraphs. This is another thing from the last couple presentations. Try to avoid using paragraphs of information, and instead you want to use bullet pointed phrases. And that's going to help you to present too. Hyperlink your sources. That's really important. You should have at least one like source, one hyperlinked source per page. And then you are going to be recording this. This is going to be something that you, once the slideshow is done, you're going to make a screencast, just kind of like what I'm doing right now, talking through your slideshow. So having those bullet pointed chunks of information is going to be a lot easier to talk about than if you write a paragraph, you're going to read the paragraph. Like, there's no way to avoid that, really. But if you have bullet pointed chunks of information, then you're able to talk around it a lot better. It's a lot more interesting for your audience, too. So then the other part of this is that I'm going to have you guys look at each other's, because I think it's very informative to see how other people do things and learn from what they do and see what worked well and see what didn't. So you are going to be actually grading 2 of your classmates also for 20 points each, just like rating each one of these 5 things on a 0 to 4 scale. So so this is going to be the next 2 weeks, and you can see how the days are laid out all here in this post that I made. And I will tell you, I might already have your things assigned for you on Wednesday, but if not, then you'll get those on Wednesday during class, and then you'll be able to start your project. So, okay, that is it. This is a really long weekly agenda for this week, but I'm kind of laying out this whole slideshow. So, all right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.